Community College. We'll be right back after this brief intermission.
This portion of programming on WHPC is brought to you on behalf of the Nassau County Bar Association, who wants you to know about ADR, Alternate Dispute Resolution, which can help you avoid costly, lengthy, and uncertain litigation in court. By resolving disputes through mediation or arbitration, it gives you control over who decides your case. A mediator helps all parties to reach an agreement they can live with, or an arbitrator selected by the parties hears and decides the case. Your attorney can still represent you, but you control who decides your case. ADR is faster and less stressful than fighting in court, and it is a great way to resolve divorce, employment, or commercial disputes. ADR is now offered through the Nassau County Bar Association. Find out more about how ADR can help resolve your dispute by calling 516-747-4070 or visit nassaubar.org.
Welcome back. You're listening to The Secrets of Success. I'm your host, Bill Horan, and today we're speaking with Don Williams, author of The Human Instruction Manual. Donald, can you tell us, why do so many of us not aim high enough in the world? What's holding us back?
Basically, is we have not embraced our full potential, being that we allow others to define who we are. And we are in a society that really supports uplifting somebody that did something that's really not all that important. I'm not going to, this isn't being negative, but somebody throwing a ball or hitting something with hitting a ball with a bat or something like that is not that important compared to saving someone's life or to helping feed a lot of people or something that really helps a lot of people. So we have our priorities kind of out of whack with the way we look at that. And it's something that we just do as a society, and we just have never really been given that point of view. It's like, maybe I'm just focusing on the wrong things. And once you start focusing on, wow, I'm doing things that are beautiful and wonderful and amazing for all kinds of people all the time, I'm successful. It's based off of the way you define success. It's not how someone else defines success. And then all of a sudden you start to see, wow, I'm way more successful than I thought, because it's on your terms.
And isn't that great, too, that we're finding success the way we want it rather than someone else telling us having a big car or, as you said, hitting a ball a little harder, a little further than someone else, or throwing it or kicking it, which in the whole picture of life is pretty meaningless.
Right. It's wonderful at the moment. And that person lived up to their purpose in that moment. But how many moments do you sit back and you see where all you have to do is go and say hello to somebody, and you're actually saying hello to somebody that you don't know how you're affecting their life? They could have had a really bad down day, or it might be one of these millions of people that are out there that are like suicidal or have all really huge issues. And you just walking up and saying hello to somebody, recognizing them, and complimenting them on something they wore or something they said, actually changed their whole day and the direction of their life.
And Don, I like the way you put it in your book that, hey, even the best of us, and there can be a few well-known personality, let's say, whether it's in sports or politics or business, they may pretend that they've never had a difficult day or a failure, but we really all have had failures in some respect, one time or another. And you point out that that's just part of the process. You have to go through that if you want to be successful.
Correct, because what it is that life is about change. And for you to want to be successful in something, you're making some type of a plan. And life has some type of a plan in store for you to help make that plan happen. And there's sort of an agreement there, right? And you have to do something. You can't just sit there and just let it happen. You have to go out and engage it. And the more you engage it, the more it comes to you. And then you have to be able to examine what you're doing and then kind of do an analysis of what's going on. And I always suggest to people that it's very helpful if they recognize what's going on and they can relate it to something. Go, oh, okay, there's a bigger picture going on here. And then how can I assimilate what I'm learning here and then take action by that. And that process allows you to actually see that you didn't fail. You just had needed to learn some things to succeed. And you're in the process of becoming the person that will succeed. But until you fail, you don't know what you need to learn.
And that's a great point to put it that way. And even the best baseball hitters miss the ball 7 out of 10 times. The best passers will miss it. 3 out of 10 that they're not going to connect with their targets, kickers, etc. So we are not going to be successful, nor are they. They may present that image to us on TV or when they're talking in magazines, etc. But in reality, everybody's failed many times, and yet if you learn from it, that can be the greatest lesson of all, and that's what makes a good trial lawyer, a good doctor, a good plumber, whatever field you're in. You've experienced it, and sadly, I guess, the stuff that we failed in is probably the stuff we remember the best, like the word you couldn't spell in the spelling bee or something like that.
Well, what you find is, once you start to embrace this, the stuff that you find most challenging will actually be the things you become the best at if you embrace it. And the reason why they seem most challenging to you is this is where you need to grow the most. And if you just start to embrace this is where I need to grow the most, you'll actually start to exceed and excel a lot faster, because before you're like, I don't know if I want to do this. So you're kind of doing that thing we were talking about earlier where we kind of put it off. But it's sort of like to grow is to have pain. And pain doesn't mean death. It doesn't mean that it's this dramatic thing. It just means you're going to have something that's uncomfortable, that's going to point something out to you that's going to bring you greater pleasure later. And that's why they call it growing pains, right?
Exactly.
You have to go through that uncomfortableness to grow. And that's just the order of life. That's just the way it is.
Donald, once again, I'd like our audience to know our guest is Donald Allen Williams. His book is The Human Instruction Manual, and he's going to tell us a website where we can learn more and how we can get the book.
Okay, so go to GetOnToIt, GETON, 2IT.com. In the upper right-hand corner, there's an Amazon link that shows all 3 books that are currently available. You could go to Amazon.com and look for The Human Instruction Manual. And then there's also several places throughout the website that you can look as well. And anybody who gives me their name and email address will be given a link to a PDF that they can download. It's a short 2-page thing that will help educate you on how to become unrejectable with regards to the successes you are trying to achieve and not taking things so personally.
And if you want to succeed, remember what Don said earlier in the show. Success is a choice. You can say, I can do it, C-A-N, or I can't. So if you're putting this off, or I'll do it tomorrow, you're going to forget it tomorrow. Do it right after you listen to the show. Go to the website, take a look, get a copy of the book. Make yourself go through it. It's not a hard read. It's something you can go through, you can scan. And if you come out with 2 or 3 ideas that get you on that line to success, the trail to success, wow, you've advanced a great deal by listening to one show and getting hold of one book. Now, Don, you mentioned about writing things down. I like to do that, but tell us why that's important and why you want our audience to do that. Okay.
Well, first off, I'm gonna do a little sidestep here, and I'm gonna help the audience understand something. And this is somewhat confusing in this world, but you are not your body. You are the driver of your body. Okay. And so your body is here for you to have the human experience. And when you engage with writing things down, you are transferring thoughts through your body, and through your body, thoughts back up. And it creates an open communication between you and your body so that you start to recognize that your thoughts can become something that happens. And the first example of it is by writing something down.
Well,
so you're taking...
No, go ahead, please.
So you're literally taking something that's in your mind, it's an imagined thing, and this is the it that you're looking for. Everyone has their it. I want this, or that, but it's actually, this is your it. This is the thing that is motivating you, and this is your imagined thing that's in your mind. And as you write something down, it's starting the process. As you're going about creating a plan and doing so, you are creating the outline to make it happen. Now, I have a background in engineering, And one of the things in engineering is they make drawings, right? And they create all the plans for the bill of materials and stuff like this. So in the beginning process, that it is happening. And when they sell the plans to build the bridge to the state and everything else is going through, that bridge is already built in the imagined experience, and we are catching up to the experience. This is what they're talking about, manifesting something. You've created it. Now you're catching up to your creation, which is a totally different way of looking at it.
And you mentioned, and I love this part of your book, you say, if you want a new life, and I guess most of us, if we are looking for a way to succeed at something, whether it's finding a new mate, learning how to dance, play golf better, or get a better job, you say we must be willing to take ownership of this life. Wrap up and tell us in the next 15 seconds how we can do that.
Okay. The 1 second miracle is this. You are at all times 100% responsible for all your experiences. This doesn't mean that they're great or wonderful at all times. And a lot of that is there to teach you to learn for what you're going to do. The more that you can embrace taking the responsibility that it's all you, the more you'll start to see you can make things happen.
You did it. I was timing you, and you're right on the button. Don, I'd like you, before we wrap up, and I want to thank you for being with us today, please once again tell our audience the website and where we can get a copy of your book, The Human Instruction Manual.
Okay. Go to getontoit.com, GETON, the number 2, IT.com. There's a link there for Amazon. You can go to Amazon.com. The name of the book is Human Instruction Manual. There are there's 3 books already written, and there's all kinds of information available on the website. If you give me your name and address, you'll get the PDF that allows you to learn how to become unrejectable.
Perfect. And your timing is excellent. Donald Williams, thanks so much for being with us today. We'd like to remind our audience that you've been listening to The Secrets of Success on 90.3 WHPC. I'm your host, Bill Horan, asking you to please join us again next week at the same time when we'll continue our journey to success.